Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving straight into the absolute bedrock of web development. We're going to unpack this prerequisite tree, and honestly, we're not just looking at a list of technologies here. We're looking at exactly how their dependencies branch out and wire together to form the modern web stack. So let's get right to it. Okay, let's dive into this. First, mapping the prerequisites. Then, branch 1, HTML5, followed by branch 2, CSS3. We'll then expand CSS3 to look at layouts, and finally, the responsive design factor.
Section 1. Mapping the prerequisites, the root of the tree.
I want you to picture this raw, literal directory tree. It is our complete, definitive guide to the foundation of web development. Every single element mapped out here is placed in a highly specific, very deliberate hierarchy. This really isn't just a basic checklist of skills to cross off. It's actually a precise map of technical dependencies. It dictates exactly how the modern web is built from the ground up.
So what exactly do we mean by prerequisites in this context? Well, at the root level, we have our absolute baseline. It's the root folder from which everything else grows. From this trunk, HTML5 and CSS3 emerge as strict, non-negotiable requirements. You absolutely cannot bypass this root before advancing deeper down the stack. It's the starting line for the whole shebang.
Branch 1, HTML5, the first pillar.
And this brilliantly illustrates the architectural difference when you put HTML5 and CSS3 side by side. They're totally co-equal primary branches, right? But HTML5 operates as a singular, direct dependency. It's straightforward. CSS3, on the other hand, acts as a container for much deeper paradigms. It really reflects how styling and layout have evolved into a way more complex ecosystem over the years.
Branch 2, CSS3, the expanding directory. But what exactly falls under CSS3 in this model? Opening up that branch reveals 3 core structural pillars: Flexbox, Grid, and Responsive Design. And remember, these aren't just floating around independently out in the ether. They're strictly contained within the CSS3 directory because they represent the absolute modern evolution of how we handle space and layout on the web today.
Expanding CSS3, layouts, featuring Flexbox and Grid. So, the crucial point here is that these nested CSS3 items dictate a very specific step-by-step sequence of mastery. You don't just learn them all at once. The flow starts with step 1, Flexbox, for one-dimensional layouts. Then it progresses to step 2, Grid, for real two-dimensional control. Finally, it culminates in step 3, responsive design, to ensure both of those adapt flawlessly to any screen size. The architecture implies a strict logical progression.
The responsive design factor, the final branch.
Now, what's really interesting about how this is all laid out is how clear the structural relationships become when we categorize the elements. Responsive design serves as the terminal branch, literally the final leaf on this specific tree. It relies entirely on the structural groundwork of the root, the CSS3 branch, and those Flexbox and Grid sub-branches that preceded it. It's the capstone that holds the layout logic together. We've traced the map all the way from that foundational root through the co-equal branches of HTML5 and CSS3, and right down into the evolving complexities of modern layouts. You now have the exact structural blueprint required before moving forward. So what does this all mean for you? With the dependencies mapped out and the flow of mastery fully understood, are you ready to leave these prerequisites behind and actually start building? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep that curiosity alive.